Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Monday the 6th of May 2024. It's my birthday, special day. It's also the crew's birthday, so an even more special day. It's kind of crazy. I set up the crew, set up this community 3 years ago to this day because a bunch of people were like, Luke, you got to set something up. You got to share your ideas. We want to support you. We want to do this. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride ever since. So yeah, before we get started with the TA, I guess as part of it being the crew's birthday, I'm also doing a special offer for this week. So for this week only, if you are new or if you want to join the crew membership, we are giving you the opportunity to lock in your membership for just $49 per month. That is a 50% discount monthly, and you will continue to get that 50% discount for as long as you remain a member for a maximum of 12 months. So basically until we get to this birthday time next year. So yeah, lock in your crew membership for just $49 per month. Use the code lock in at wop.com/Taurus Crypto, or just go to tauruscrypto.com. Links, of course, are in the description below. And yeah, enough of that. If you're unsure, remember, it's my birthday, so be nice. But yeah, if you join the crew, you of course get access to live trading rooms on a daily basis. In fact, there's one going on right now with Delirium. Thousands of hours of educational content. We're giving constant updates on Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I did all my market update this morning. We've got Frenchball in there doing all of his market updates. We've got Randall in there with his. We've got Cake in there with his on the NASDAQ. We've got Delirium, as I say, who's doing his market update right now. Fugazi, we've got our trading channels, and we've got all of this other stuff, all of this educational content that you can sink your teeth into and enjoy if you do come and join us over there. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the analysis. So we'll start from the top here, Bitcoin on the weekly. I did my update on Twitter, so I'd already done a quick update on that. So if you go over onto Twitter, oh look at that, it's the birthday thingies, and take a look at the post that I did there, then a lot of this has already played out. Okay, we were looking for the highs to get taken, and that is precisely what has happened. So going back to the chart here and just a little bit of a fresh look at this weekly candle closed really strong. Okay, Dragonfly Doji, which is pretty typical of a reversal. So we saw this when we had the move back down to 38K earlier on in the year. The week closed very strong, and then we got that continuation on to all-time highs. Are we going to see something similar to that? Maybe. The reaction so far is very strong, and I do think that right now my bias is quite heavily towards this. The low is in, and we are going to new all-time highs from here, and that means 100K and beyond. So if you're sidelined again, sorry, but I told you that this would be likely. We knew a bounce to 62K was very likely. The fact that we've closed above there, we didn't reject at 62K, is very bullish in my opinion. So let's see how the rest of the week goes, obviously. But yeah, weekly looking strong, and we have basically gone through that weekly level and taken out previous highs already here. We go on to the daily. All right, daily level, again, looking very strong. You had extremely high volume as we came into the yearly anchored VWAP, a bounce that corrected the entire move down already. We're now working on the 5th day in a row of green candles, or blue in this instance, bluey gray in this instance. And yeah, as soon as we close back through that gap on the daily and back above that OB, it became almost inevitable that we would be testing liquidity above, which we have just taken this morning. Going down onto the 4-hour. Okay, similar kind of situation. And this, again, if you look back to what happened after the 38K bounce, where we got a strong bounce, we closed through and corrected the entire move down, and then we made these consistent higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows until the eventual breakout, not giving an opportunity for anyone to get in if they were not already long. It's been a very similar situation so far. Here, we corrected the entire move down, and then we've been making consistent higher lows before breaking higher. Now, the update this morning was essentially saying that, I'll actually go onto this chart because it's a little bit clearer on here. This was the plan that I had this morning, which was to come and take out the highs and basically test into this gap that we see here before a potential rejection, and then looking for maybe a move down. So I'll move this, I'll keep it there for now. But the reason being for that, okay, and this is something that we teach. This is one of Cake's strategies. So one of the coaches within the crew, this is one that he is absolutely smashing every day. So it is the theory of basically inverting a gap on at any given time frame, really. So as soon as you have this big gap here that's on the 4 hour, yep, and that's okay, you got the move up into that, which is what we were expecting, and then we were either looking for a rejection there or for continuation higher, and that told us a lot. The reaction to this would tell us a lot about what's coming next. So as soon as you get that close above there, as soon as you are like getting acceptance outside of this imbalance on the chart, it becomes highly likely that you take the liquidity above, which is exactly what we've done today. I need to get rid of the arrows on this. Okay, we don't really want arrows on this thingy. So yeah, that is precisely what has happened today. And that liquidity has just been taken, which means that for any long positions, this is now a really, really good area in which to take profit. Now, from this moment on, we are also working on another gap here. Okay, so these 4 hour gaps working really, really well. I would, once again, expect a rejection from this, but if it can hold and if it can close back above, so if we now see closes back above that 66,200, then it leads us on towards the next highs and the next target, which is up here at 68. So we're just going level to level, very, very straightforward, but very high probability setups here. So you clear one, you clear one imbalance, you go to the next liquidity. If we clear the next imbalance, we're going to the next liquidity, so on and so forth. But for myself, I am now considering this to be a good area in which to potentially see a slight correction. And a slight correction being the very important, slight being the important word here, okay? So the reason for that, I do not want to see deep retraces. Okay, there should not be an opportunity for longs to get in if they are not already in, and there should be every opportunity for shorts to get squeezed here. So we have come into this area, we have taken out local highs. If we do reject, this is a point in which I would consider going short. I haven't done so yet because I've been just monitoring this and watching. I haven't done so yet, but there is the possibility to have a short setup here, where you're going short from within this 4 hour gap. Your invalidation will be if there is a close above. So essentially, if there's any close above that, like let's say 66,500, but realistically 66.2, and then you're looking to take this down towards those weekend lows. So you're looking at a trade a little bit like this as a short position. And then if that does happen, I'm not saying that that will happen, I'm not even sure if I'm going to short this yet, but I would 100% be looking for a long if we do come and take out those weekend lows, looking to hold that 62k. I'm already in a long, where this would be a place in which to compound any long positions to take it up to the next level. And then once again, you go level to level. But if this is to be the low, then I do consider this to be something that can take us to all-time highs at this stage. So what we have seen now is strong. It is strength from the market. We are clearly breaking at the very least this local market structure. We're back within the range. We're back within value area, and this is looking pretty good for higher. Now, the reason I want to see that will be the extent of it. Okay, 62k, that is literally as low as I would want it to go. If there is to be closes below 62k again, I would get out of longs because I do not want an opportunity. You do not see situations where Bitcoin does these deeper retraces after a big correction and it works out. Okay, so if you're coming into if you're one of those traders that's thinking, oh look, we're going to get some really good value down here, back at 59.60, I would not take that as a trade because I do not see that working very often at all when you have big emotional moves like this. The maximum for myself here would be the 382. All right, and that lines up really nicely, okay, with those lows at $62,000. So that is where I would go long, and from that long, I would be looking for new all-time highs. So it's very, very straightforward. That is my plan, and I guess it's up to the market now to let us know if that plan is going to play out. Now, in terms of the order flow, if we have a look at that, there's not really a lot to say here. Delta over the weekend was fairly flat. Open interest had been fairly flat. You're starting to get that pickup again now, but you've not really seen the CVD from either spot or perps look like it's anything crazy. This particular move up we're having now, I would say, is more perps led. All right, so we're seeing that start to outpace the what was going on with spot. In fact, spot, you got these bullish divergences. So the bounce, if there is still hope for a pullback, it is that perpetuals futures are leading the move, where spot has not yet really started to play catch up here. So if we see spot buying, like significant spot buying starting to come back into the market, then yes, very bullish. But so far, even over the weekend here, you can see that Delta was making these new lows, or its price was making new highs, whereas it was the purpose market that was making these higher highs. So that kind of backs up that thing of like, okay, maybe we do reject here, correct a little bit. Down towards 62k, good area in which to take profits, but certainly still looking pretty good overall. Other things, of course, to note is that we are still in that, we're still looking at that spot premium right now, which is bullish. Okay, we had this on the previous consolidation before it broke two new all-time highs, and we're getting this again here. So this is really, really important data to be aware of. That does mean that I have a strong bullish bias still for this move. And if we have a look at the funding rates, then once again, this is pretty good, right? We're at neutral / negative. Like the fact that we're moving up on, and just refresh that again, like essentially negative funding on a lot of stuff here, and at the very most neutral. There's nothing crazy about the funding rates at all here, so that looks pretty decent also. And one other thing to note is that for the first time ever on Friday, we had inflows from GBTC, 1,000 Bitcoin bought on the GBTC ETF, and inflows throughout every single ETF apart from this BTCW one over here, giving a really like one of the, well, not one of the highest, but considering the massive outflows that we had last week, an enormous change in the basically what's going on in the ETF market. That discount starting to, completely disappearing again here. And that means that essentially that dip was bought heavily by big money. And someone on the stream mentioned that, like, oh, we're going much lower because all the big money's out of the market. No, they are not. Trust me. That dip was bought heavily, and there is big money. There had been big money on the sidelines, desperate for a dip. And that is what we've had. And I do strongly believe that we are going to new all-time highs and way beyond that from now on. So if you're not already long, it's the opportunities may not be coming back to you again. And I have been saying that a lot. Okay, so it's just one of those things. Overall, market's looking very green today. There's nothing much to say on that. And with the altcoins, Bitcoin's up. I'm in longs on JTO. I'm in a long on W. They're still looking pretty healthy at this stage. W, in fact, having that decent pullback right back into the POC. So this giving another opportunity to compound the position here. And overall just looking pretty good. One other thing I wanted to share, if there is to be a pullback here, okay, we can see on the CME chart has come into that 4-hour gap also. Of course it would, because it's like basically the same thing. But we have the gap CME gap is consistent to the bigger idea. So essentially, this is the plan. All right, we wanted to see price come up here. Now we see if we can get a sweep of those weekend lows before continuation higher. If you do not get a quick reaction off of those weekend lows, bounce and launch, like literally launch, it has to launch. If we're going to come down here, that has to be a launch pad, and it has to like correct, like go long, bang, off we go, new highs. If you don't see that, then my bias changes again very quickly. But that is the same thing here. Okay, same plan. We were looking for this to sweep the highs. This was the update I did this morning. We have now swept the highs. Let's see if we can get the pullback, fill the gap, come back down here, and then launch from there. So yeah, I'm very clear. I'm very clear in my bias. I'm very clear on my analysis. So we'll see if it plays out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like, subscribe, retweet, do all of those things. And of course, remember, we do have that offer for the crew membership. So take yourself over to the link in the description below. Go over to wop.com/TaurusCrypto, or just go to tauruscrypto.com. Use the code LOCKIN, and you can get that 50% discount on your crew membership for basically, yeah, until, well, you're locking it in. So yeah, whoa, that was nasty. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.